Okay, do you see what I have on the wall behind me? Do you recognize
Yes.
that?
Yes, it's my painting. I can't believe you still have it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, take me back to this really quick because I'm pretty sure we were on a call when I made this painting, or we had just done
Yeah.
like a meditation or something together. Because
Yeah.
this was what, 2018?
Yeah.
And you were just doing like, you had just done this past life meditation. And I was just doing some past life stuff, and we did one together, right? And
Yeah.
this had something to do with the card or the meditation or the healing
That's the
session we
Six
did.
of Cups.
Tell me more to refresh my memory.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that session was like incredible and totally opened my eyes up to like how amazing your work is, first of all, but then also just how like these deep-seated patterns that I had for my whole life, and I was like, oh, this is just who I am, that they could like leave. So yeah, so I did the
Yes.
past like meditation that I talked about in a post the other day that was just it was it was so vivid, and I wanted to get like a second opinion in a way, right? Because you have these experiences and you're like, I'm just making this up. Um,
Did I imagine that whole thing? I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and you were also doing past life stuff. So you're like, hey, I'm doing past life stuff. Let's do it or something. I don't
You
know.
did
But
past life meditation. I'm trying to figure out how to read past lives. Link up. Do we have any notes that compare? Is this even a real
right?
phenomenon? And like truly, because we were at the
Yeah.
same time. Sorry, I'm burping. This is my brew
Nice.
doctor, my nighttime brew doctor. And it's spiraled from there. I and now it's like, oh, cute, this painting from a long time ago. That was 7 years ago. And that
Damn.
was at the start of our healing journey. I'm connecting these
hmm
dots. Seven is a very completion year. Can you believe we're 7 years into this?
I can't. I can't. I
10?
like put it, I think I put it on my website the other day and I was like, oh, that's a kind of long
That
ass
day came
time.
up fast. 10 years of friendship?
Yeah. Yep. That's our 10-year anniversary. How
Wow.
cute.
This is the 10-year anniversary show is what this is.
Yeah, but I've had this up on my walls ever since. Like I had it up in Ireland. I've had it up in my office. Every time I've had it, it's one of the first things I put up because it just radiates healing energy, like super strong. So little bit of history there.
Q, I'm so honored to hear that as someone who has like worked in the arts, in the healing arts. I'm still kind of getting into, oh wow, like art is healing. Like, of course it is for you who enjoy it and who you make it, but it's also for me like, oh, I don't think about the effect it has on those people. So it's funny you say
Yeah.
that. Let's fast forward to the present. Tonight I came home from work and I went to a little yoga class. I'm gonna start sticking
Mm,
little studs on my face. I'm gonna make myself
yes.
big. Um, and while we were at yoga class, there was this little green-haired 19-year-old kid who came to one of my new moon ceremonies, like the first one I've done here. And they said, you did such a good job.
No.
I felt like I left my body. That was so incredible what you do. And then like the lady behind the counter at the yoga studio was like, had a reading with me and she was like, have you had a reading with Ellie? She's incredible. And I was just like, I just came here for a yoga class and I found community. And I'm just like,
Oh.
whoa, like, so you have some of those moments where you're like, okay, here we are. We've been doing the work for 7 years, 10 years. And then you wake up one day and you put stickers on your face that fall off. And you're like,
hmm
how did I get here? How did I get here? Truly.
hmm
And that's why we're here tonight, is to really enjoy, honestly, all that we have done to get this. It's a celebration for us as much as it is to sort of also feel like we're doing our best with what we've cultivated to share
Yeah.
our knowledge this far along. 7 years is not nothing. I mean, like I'm not like, I'm not that far along, but I've seen enough to know, oh, here's a couple shitholes you don't want to fall in, right? And if we can save anybody
Truly.
that,
Yeah, I was
they
talking to
can't save themselves from it. So, we can try.
I know I was
Right?
thinking about I was talking to Greg about that yesterday and oh God,
Oh my God,
lose
what
my train
color
of
should I
thought.
pick?
Hold on.
This is the Wings Club
Purple.
palette. You think
Oh,
purple?
what?
I know, right?
I don't know. They're all pretty.
What
Blue?
are we?
You
Blue?
like a
Like, I
teal?
think like these. Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that. Um,
Oh yeah, but I was talking to Greg about
yeah.
well, we were talking about creative expression, and I was saying
Hmm.
how um putting yourself out there and creating things is very vulnerable and it like feels bad in some ways to be that open. But if I'm not creating, I just have this little voice, this little like feeling that just doesn't go away. And it's like, yeah, but instead of doing what you're doing right now, you could be like creating. And we were talking about how powerful that force is.
And
Um,
so I'm so interested in this because creating isn't inherently a force that should make you feel negative. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
let's talk about the creating is a good thing. You want to be able to do it, but in order to get there into your space of, as I apply this excessive highlighter, divine creation does not come with guilt,
mhm,
right? Like
yeah,
I felt that before where like I haven't been doing enough or I haven't been doing this or I haven't been doing that. That's the enemy of your creative flow right there. It's like
mhm,
we're talking about sort of like the concept of you not giving yourself rest is a way of causing yourself more harm, right? So same thing with your
yeah.
creative process. If you're going to just kind of say, I'm not doing enough, I could be doing more, you turn the spontaneous, joyful act of creation into a chore and you hurt yourself.
Yeah, actually, so this would be something good that we could maybe pull a card for me about. Because I
Let's
don't know if you
talk
know this
about it.
about me. I don't know if
Tell
you
me
know this
more.
about me, but I have had a creative block for since I was like 14. And I'm a very creative person, right? I
Mm,
have the urges. I can like, I like it.
look at that. Look at my
Just
cute little
just
highlighter matching my
I
rainbow
love it.
box.
Oh
I
my
don't think you've
God.
seen this. I have a
I
new
haven't.
deck. Again, speaking of anniversaries, the fuck? Like this is my 5 year anniversary updated
Wow.
she wolf deck. I'm so excited.
It's so pretty.
It's like
I
it's
love
the
those colors.
I've been doing these readings with the She Wolf Tarot for 5 years. They have a re-release with some new updated card images. That's what you're getting.
Mm.
You're getting a fresh deck.
Oh
How about that?
my God. That's so
Aren't you
exciting.
special? Also, all right, I'm gonna play with my cards. Oh, I'll do it in front of you. I never use not the table, but I feel like you need to see. Look how gorgeous, guys.
They're so pretty.
I'm sitting in front of like just beautiful objects, right? I'm indulging in my wildest fantasies of sensory play, joy.
Mm.
Oh, there was this Mary Oliver quote at this yoga class today. It was like about joy. I will look it up for
Mm.
you in the call because you're gonna love it.
Mm.
Um,
God, I've
you
been
know,
getting really into Mary Oliver lately.
what? Okay, we're gonna pull a card. You ready to pull a card?
No. Yes.
All right. Oh, Ace of Pentacles. It
Oh,
came
okay.
up, it came up like this. I pull it out this way. Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, all the Ace of Pentacles, you have all of your earth signs, your Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, right? Um, Pentacles. Wow. Well, basically, honestly, if I had to say that there's a card that was creative block, it's probably that one.
Right. Fuck.
I'm not trying to read you right now, but like, oh no, I can't quite
Oh, it's
manifest.
there.
I don't know how to start. tell me more about this creative block, Eve, because I just, it's there. Okay, what
It's
else?
there. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So I used to write a lot when I was a young teen, and
Like
I
fill
loved it.
notebooks.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like mm, I have a 40-page My Chemical Romance fanfic that's out there somewhere. 40,
It's
40
about
pages.
you. You've been
42,
holding
yeah,
back 10 years of
yeah.
friendship and you didn't tell this is the first I've heard about your
This is
40
on
page
film.
fanfic. I'm
Yeah,
pissed. I'm
so
fucking pissed. Okay.
yeah, if I find it, you can read it. I'll link it if I find
We're gonna link it in the chat. We're actually gonna put it
it.
on our Patreon.
I'm gonna put it on it. Um, so and I've always done theater and I love singing and singing is not so much of a block. But like writing and visual art. I can do visual art if I'm doodling or like abstract watercolors. I've, you know, gotten through a little bit that way, but yeah, I just can't seem to do it. And I don't know why. I haven't been able to figure it out. Sometimes you can link it to like, oh, well, that's because this girl said, my writing fucking sucks. But there wasn't anything like that. So it's
Interesting, because the next card I pulled was a divine masculine.
hmm
Okay.
hmm
So it wasn't an external voice that stopped you, was it?
right. I can see that.
Oh. So at what point did you start writing and what point did you stop writing? What like what what was happening around the time you stopped writing?
Oh God. Well, it was like the worst year of my life.
Well, there you go.
Listen to me. Yeah, nothing happened
Wow.
except
Nothing happened the worst year of my
terrible.
life. I'm not asking you to go into bullet points, but I am kind of like, okay, what happened that year? Like
Yeah.
like because maybe it's not a block you're doing on purpose. It's a block like divine masculine being about protection.
Mm,
Maybe you stopped identifying with that time of your life with something that you enjoyed because you're trying to create distance from that point of your life, consciously or unconsciously. We all try to create space and things that have made us really
mm,
uncomfortable and unhappy, right?
mm-hmm.
And then also create safety in our uncomfortability and our unhappiness and stay there for prolonged periods of time,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're saying,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So this is like similar to this conversation I had at this yoga studio on the way home tonight. I was like, okay, these people know me with this thing now, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, I'm being recognized. I'm being
Yeah.
seen for my gifts. I'm being told, like, you're doing a good job. And Kyle came with me to class and he was talking to one of my friends who I saw who was in a class across the hall while I was having these interactions, like, oh, get a reading from Ellie, whatever. And I got in the car and I was like, babe, I'm really sorry that like I spent that much time engaging with people, but I really feel like because they've had an experience with me in this, I really should like acknowledge what they tell me and like hold space for them. Like some people cry in reading, some people really
Yeah.
have a strong response, and I want to be able to, when I see them again, hold space for them if they have a delayed
Yeah.
reaction or they want to give
Yeah.
feedback. Like it's
Yeah.
it's not a
It's
form of
important.
it's not like, oh, I'm having a meet and greet. It's like a, hey, we had a powerful experience together.
Yeah.
How are you? How are you
Aftercare.
aftercare, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, Ellie, I didn't feel uncomfortable. I wasn't like all of that
Yeah.
is a projection
Mm.
that you're creating. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what? You mean you didn't hate that and feel really uncomfortable just standing there? No, I didn't. You're creating that pattern. You're perpetuating this pattern for yourself because when you do something good, you can't accept you fear something good getting good attention because then it means you're
Mm.
in trouble. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, uh, yes,
Damn.
yes,
Yeah.
because I can't do good, I can't do bad. without
Mm.
getting in trouble, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, so this projection, this response is a pre-programmed behavior where I just believe that like I don't deserve any recognition, and it like creates this perpetuating fear of success because
Right.
you're being seen. And then
Mm-hmm.
you I kill it before it feels good.
Yeah.
I don't let myself enjoy the pleasure of like this is good, this is wanted because I have the retaliation of punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for this later. Better not stand out.
Yeah.
But it's self-created to cause myself pain so I don't get to enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
Why would we do that to
Oh my
ourselves?
God.
Not by choice, right? Like just learn behavior from lack of parental love.
I'm so distracted by your hair right now. It looks like a mermaid.
Isn't it just?
So
How
pretty.
did we just unbond?
Ah, lovely. But yeah. Yeah, I know I feel that. I feel that. It's so scary to for me to have people look at me. Like even physically, energetically, metaphorically. I'm like, just stop. It feels like I'm like under a magnifying glass, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And have you read the book The Big Leap? Oh, I asked you about this the other day.
No,
It's
we've talked
about
about it. Yeah.
the how we feel really uncomfortable when we're trying to break through, like
Yes.
where we
Yes.
have been, even if it's like you were saying, even if it's shitty, it's like comfortable and our body's like, no, stay here. Like stay in
Stay
this,
small.
no matter
Be
what.
because like that's a trained physical response to like pain, fear, and punishment in a childhood
Yeah.
home where like you stand out. Attention means, I mean, viscerally, when I talk about this, it puts pressure in my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't see me. I feel like,
Yeah, it's
my
this
shoulders
like
hunch,
shrinking.
physically want to shrink, because of the negative attention and the physical associations with that. And it's funny, we talked about the big
Mm-hmm.
leap after this workshop that this person had approached me about. There was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, that was incredible. It was wonderful. Because I left that doubting myself. Like I called you after. I was like,
Was
listen,
that when
like
you
I
called
just
me?
did, yeah, I was like, hi, I'm freaking out. I just did this public thing and it was scary. I
You're
went all,
like,
I went all the way in. I mean, like I really
yeah.
gave it to him. Like panicking. Like, did I just make a fool of myself in front of the
Mm.
village, literally? And I was like, oh God, I wouldn't have been given this opportunity if I wasn't like worth something and I could do this, right? Like I know this. But physically, it's that discomfort of like,
Yeah.
I just did something big and oh my God, it's that same pattern I was having tonight. It's just I can't
Mm-hmm.
let myself succeed. I have to come back and I have to literally shame myself. Oh, wow. Because that's what happened to me. So my enacting of that self-shaming is perpetuating the cycle on behalf of my mother. And let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about mother wounds because we don't enough, right? Like you're always like, Ellie, you're discovering another mother wound again. And I was like, always, Eve, but here's how it's different this time. She really loves
Oh,
me. She does.
the
But
memes
don't
are so good though. They're so yeah, okay, so when we
different
were
this time.
initially brainstorming the idea for this workshop, speaking of moms, one of the ways you hooked me, right? You kind of convinced me that shadow work was what we were gonna go with. Um, you mentioned the death mother archetype. And my like physical sensation is saying, let's talk about bunnies. But I want to hear more.
About archetypes, about the death mother.
Yeah, about the death mother, about archetypes, like what, I just want to
Where
hear more.
where are we going with this? Like, why would we talk about the death mother archetype when I'm talking about myself and my self punishment? I don't understand the connection, Eve, at all. I'm like, so I might not be the expert in this right now. So I could be speaking totally out of my depth.
Mm.
about the death mother archetype. Um, but her name is my mother, and it's just a matter of you do not have love.
Mm.
It doesn't mean you're not worthy of it. And like this hurts, like I'm gonna like
Mm.
cry, but it's true. It's not that you're not worthy of the love. You just didn't receive it. It's just it is, and it manifests in your life in such that you have to train yourself
Mm.
to be a lovable, loved person by
Yeah.
loving yourself. And now I just sound like I'm a mixtape, right? It's just like, but what does that
Mm.
take?
Yeah.
Turning the voice against yourself, which is the okay, let's go back to the death mother
Mm.
archetype, right? Because I'm talking
Yeah.
about my internal programming that came from a mother figure, right? Let's talk about that mother figure looks like outside and then inside of the self. Because it came up with like, oh, this is the voice in my head. And when I
Mm.
saw that term death mother, it's not one of the original Jungian archetypes. It's like one of the
Hmm.
lineage. And like again, when we started psychoanalysis and archetypes, we were taking from existing myths and themes that happen,
Yeah.
but they also have sort of like the historical tarot, a patriarchal oversight. So you don't have a lot of the feminine sensibilities
Mm.
because of sort of
Hmm.
the canon it came from. So we're developing these actually over time in real time. And like that book I was reading that I shared with you, Belonging, Finding Our Way Home, Toko
Yeah.
Pa Turner, is a dream study, feminine in the Jungian space,
Mm.
opening up this dialogue of other contemporaries who've done feminine archetype work.
Cool.
So this dark mother is emerging as the mother that suffocates her young. She nurtures
Mm.
dependency and then kills them. It's kind of like those birds in the wild that raise their young just to eat them. Truly,
I feel that.
it
Hmm.
exists in nature.
Yeah.
It exists in human beings, and we deny that
Mm.
societally because it's shameful, right?
Hmm.
Because like, and even as tough as a mother as some people get, they still have to have your respect.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean they can punish you and hurt you, like they shouldn't. But that's the death mother. And it comes from her own emptiness that she needs to feed on, so she feeds on her young. This is a
Hmm.
generational mother wound we're talking about here with the
Yeah.
with the death mother and how it manifests in your life and with other people and then you. So bringing that to light was really important for me
Yeah.
because then I was like, this is the narrative. It's that voice inside of my head, Eve, I've been talking about when it comes to these
Mm.
moments of success bringing me down.
Yeah. 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 One of the biggest shifts, I feel like I say that phrase all the time, but actually for real,
Mm-hmm.
when I went from basically a life of like self-destruction to one where I was like, hmm, maybe something happier.
Maybe I
Anyway,
can be happy and whole
yeah, that moment was when I don't even
because the
know
empty
who
hole is
told
only
me,
getting bigger. Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah, I don't know who told me this or where I saw it, but it was just the idea of, hey, like the voice in your head that you use to talk to yourself, in a shameful way, um,
Mm-hmm.
you could choose to talk to yourself nicely. I was like, hang on, what?
What?
What? And it was
You
just this
can,
totally foreign concept to me for whatever reason. I don't know. It really was. And then you came in, I think it was after this healing session, and you were like, hey, one message I got coming through for you is like when you interact with your own body, like when you touch yourself, to do it mindfully and gently. And those two things, like thinking nice thoughts about yourself, giving yourself reassurance, and, being aware of how you're interacting with your physical body, it's amazing. It's amazing how much healing
mm,
came from that self-compassion. Like, really, truly, I used to shame spiral all the time, really bad, really seriously. And when I talk to myself now in that understanding, compassionate way, when I'm in the middle of those feelings, it calms me down. And nothing used to calm that down. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Tell me how you do this. Like how do you,
Mm.
how do you start? How do you stop? Like, what do you do here? What's your
Yeah.
method? Because I think somatically, calming my physical being is the cue to start my body and like my fight or flight back into regulation. So that those cues are really important. So what's that like for you?
Yeah. So the first thing is that sometimes nothing I do works. Just a little caveat. Nothing I do works, and I just need to let myself go through it. And that sucks. Um,
Amen, sister, but necessary.
but I think it's just something I've trained myself, I guess, over time, and that's a slight pause before I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I'm in this thought loop of like, they don't love me, like this is awful, whatever it is. And I'll take a pause and I'll be like, huh. And I'll just kind of notice, oh, okay, I've been here, right? And sometimes I need something physical right away. Like sometimes I can't talk to myself in a nice way. That nice voice just doesn't get through to me.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. And when that happens, I have to do something physical to get myself out of it. Like last time, I just went and I took a really hot bath. Or sometimes I'll I have like these nice adaptogenic tinctures and I'll take one of those. And just the act of like drinking water will help. And if I can remember to breathe, that really helps, of course.
Hmm.
But then just sometimes just saying, hey, oh my God, you're feeling a lot. And just allowing myself that, like, oh, honey, like, oh, you're going through it. And
Just
that witness,
holding
that
yourself.
compassionate. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Here,
Hmm.
I'm gonna pause because my Zoom is about to kick us off. So
Okay.
I'm gonna
Pause the recording.
end this one and then we'll do part two.